ROKP stands for reverse out knee pain. This is, simply put, walking backwards. And I'm going to have you start a majority of your workouts by walking backwards, especially if you have knee pain or any discomfort in the knees. Just walking backwards alone has given a lot of people relief from that pain. You can also use a traditional sled. When I first started and hadn't purchased one yet, I actually used a piece of plywood, put some 2x4s around it so I could put some weights in the middle without it sliding around, and I just pulled that back and forth. So you have that option. If you want to brainstorm together, see if we can create one for you to use at your house, we can certainly do that. Or you can even just start by walking backwards, preferably finding an incline. It'll make it a little bit more challenging. Get a good burn in your legs, get the blood flow to the knees and surrounding muscles to get you ready for the workout. I just wanted to make a quick video because this exercise alone is going to be a great foundation for 99% of you that are starting my online programs. So get used to this one. It's awesome. I do it every time I start working out. I'll throw it in the middle of workouts sometimes. We'll end with it. Different ways to utilize this exercise. But again, if you want to brainstorm, we can come up with a way for you to create your own. Or when you start, we can just program it where you're walking backwards.
The further your feet are away from the wall, the more difficult it will be. You are simply going to raise your toes up toward your shins, holding for a split second at the top, slow and controlled on the way down, up. For the FHL calf raise, you're going to have your legs straight here. So you're going to have your hands against the wall, and then you're driving up through your big toes. The reason it's called an FHL calf raise, there's a muscle that runs from your big toe up to like the middle to upper portion of your calf called the flexor hallucis longus, which just means basically flexion of the big toe. So again, you want to make sure that you're focusing on driving through those big toes, keeping the legs straight. The KOT calf raises, you can step a little bit closer to the wall. And you're just using the wall basically for a little bit of balance. You're keeping your legs straight the entire time on these. Again, driving through the toes, but my knees remain in the same spot. Upright torso. This is hitting the calf muscle. That is the deeper calf muscle underneath the one that you actually see. Your soleus here runs along the Achilles. So doing these actually will help protect your Achilles tendon as well. Patrick step. Right leg is non-working leg. Left leg is working leg. I am driving this knee over my toe by trying to keep my heel down. The further I drive forward, the more ankle flexion I get in my back foot. But again, the front foot, you're looking just for the heel to touch the ground. Back up. So to start, just start here where it's comfortable, where you can get about just slightly knee over toe. Control on the way down. ATG split squat. Start with some assistance, so maybe up against a wall here. The front foot being elevated. If you have a bench or a box that's about 2 feet, it's a good starting point. You're trying to be up on the tippy toes on your back foot, keeping the back leg straight. Front leg, you're going to be driving forward into knee flexion, nice and controlled, coming down. Pause, back up. Contracting this back leg's glute muscle will help keep that leg straight. Should feel a real good stretch in your hip flexors here. Again, nice and controlled on the way down. with both knees bent and your hands on an elevated surface out in front of you. Begin the exercise by straightening one leg while keeping the opposite knee in the bent position. Now alternate back and forth between legs. To increase the stretch, focus on driving the heel of the extended leg into the ground. As this position becomes easier, you may lower the hand elevation until you're able to place the palms to the floor, as well as gradually working your hands closer to your body. L-sits. If you lean back, it'll be a little easier here. What you're going to do is set a timer for 60 seconds, alternating legs, raising one about 6 to 8 inches off the ground, holding for a 2 count, back down, raising the other, 2 count, back down. To make it real difficult, go ahead and lift your butt up off the ground. So on the couch stretch, this one is pretty tricky for most people to get into. I'm going to kind of show you a way that I go about it. I start by just kneeling sideways. So eventually I'm going to put my foot back up here. You can use a couch or even a wall, but I start with where I think my knee should be. So for starters, start further away from the couch or the wall, and then you can progress by moving closer. But you're going to start here. I take my opposite leg, start it out front, foot on the ground, and then I just rotate out. Put my hands down, reach back, put my foot up here, and then from here, I just slowly start. If I can feel a good stretch here, you can stay put, or you can work yourself up to your knees, eventually straightening out, going back. And what you're thinking about here is driving through this front foot and then also contracting the glutes here. By contracting the glutes, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your quad.